Andre Felix.
And here's tonight's play-by-play.
Ramiro, the show by Mamoy. Mr. Moves puts it on. Unbelievable.
Gemma on the left side. Oh, the pass! Stumping another one. Bacunas rejecting Estevo for the
The Oklahoma City Thunder are one win away from winning the 2024-2025 NBA crown. They've taken a 3-2 series lead over the Indiana Pacers after winning Game 5 120-109. The Thunder feeding off the energy of their home crowd to pull ahead for the first time in the series. They played outstanding defense right out the gates, resulting in a 14-point halftime lead. The Pacers tried to mount several comebacks in the final 24 minutes, but OKC's big guns came through in the payoff period to prevent any sort of collapse. While Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was still his usual MVP self, it was Jalen Williams who led the way this time around. J-Dub posted a whopping 40 points to go with 6 rebounds and 4 assists. SGA had a double-double, 31 markers and 10 dimes, as well as 4 blocks. The Thunder can clinch the championship on the road this Friday as the series goes back to Indianapolis for Game 6. Tip-off is at 8:30 a.m. Philippine time. Here's SGA talking about being just one step away from becoming an NBA champion.
Feels good. We got to try to stay there for as long as we can. Obviously, it's a lot easier said than done playing against a really good basketball team, but we got to try to stay in that space, in that momentum on both ends of the floor for longer periods of time if we want to kind of hoist this thing. Every play is important. Every play matters a little bit more, obviously later in the game, but you just try to go out there and make the right basketball play, play off your instincts. And on both ends of the floor, you just try to do what's best in that moment, that possession, and try to stay in the moment as much as possible, not worry about what's happening, what the swings are, just try to win that possession.
Now, Game 5 of the NBA Finals was undoubtedly the Jalen Williams game. This was his best showing yet in the series, scoring his 40 points on an efficient 9 for 15 shooting clip. J-Dub was also instrumental in the Thunder's final rally, which put the Pacers away for good. Here's what J-Dub had to say after his definitive finals performance.
Just buckle down, get stops. Like I said, that's a really good team over there. You don't just trip into the finals, you know what I mean? So they're really good at doing the same thing we do, stay in the course, and we have to stay the course as well during their runs, and we did a good job of that.
40 points for you in this game. In fact, you've been feeling it really for the last 3 games. Just what has been feeling so good to you lately?
My teammates instill a lot of confidence in me and go out and be me. Mark's done a good job of telling me just be myself. I don't got to be anything more, and that's giving me a lot of confidence.
You told me at the end of the 3rd quarter when they were cutting into the lead, we can't panic. Given what we've seen from the Pacers throughout these playoffs, just how were you guys able to keep it together, to right the ship, and to not panic?
We're getting opportunities to repeat and grow through our experience. That was honestly the same exact game as Game 1, to be totally honest. So learning through these finals, that's what makes the team good. And I thought we were able to do that, and we were able to collectively get stops and win the game.
We've got more on the NBA Finals later on the show. For now, we've got volleyball updates, starting with Las Filipinas men. The team just started its campaign in the AVC Men's Volleyball Nations Cup. They're currently facing Pakistan for the first match of the tournament. After being dominated in the first 2 sets, Alas men suddenly came alive in the 3rd set. Leo Ordiales carried the Philippine squad with 8 points in the frame, and Alas men took the set 25-18. The 4th set is currently ongoing. Only the top 2 teams per pool will advance to the quarterfinals of the tournament.
Meantime, Gia de Guzman knows the road ahead won't get any easier for Las Filipinas women after their historic silver in the AVC Women's Volleyball Nations Cup. Speaking during the Philippine Sports Writer Association forum earlier today, De Guzman admitted that Alas women now carry greater expectations and pressure in their next tournaments. Nonetheless, De Guzman emphasized fostering a growth mindset focused on sustaining the momentum of a national program that's finally taking shape. Alas women still have a stacked calendar ahead. This starts with a VTV Cup in Vietnam at the end of June, followed by the Southeast Asian V-League and the Southeast Asian Games later this year.
If you ask me, I'm much more fulfilled seeing the growth of the girls, the coaches, and the whole team. Because we know, it's easy to say na pataas kami ng pataas, but we know na mas maraming hirap na dadating for us to reach the top because that's what the other teams on top had to go through to get there. That's something that the other teams that are stronger than us have over us. So these are experiences that we need as a team para lumakas pa and hopefully in the long run, mas masuportahan pa kami para maabot din namin yung mga goals na sinaset namin for us and also to give more pride to the country.
We've got more news about Gia De Guzman after the break. The Alas women team captain has confirmed her return to the PBL after 2 years in Japan. The details when play-by-play returns, so stick with us.
And we're back. Thanks for joining us here on Play by Play. Our top story today, the Oklahoma City Thunder now on the brink of an NBA title after beating the Indiana Pacers in Game 5 of the finals. So now the Thunder taking full advantage of a lackluster outing from Tyrese Haliburton. The Pacers' main man had just 4 points, 3 rebounds, and as many assists. He also committed 4 turnovers in 34 minutes of action, but Hallie's performance wasn't due to lack of effort. In the first quarter, Hallie hurt his right leg during a drive attempt, and he had to leave the game, but came back in the second period. At halftime, a discussion took place on whether or not Hallie should continue. Tyrese opted to keep playing, but he hardly made an impact. Despite the injury, Haliburton is adamant on playing the rest of the championship series.
I mean, it's NBA Finals. It's the finals, man. I've worked my whole life to be here, and I want to be out there to compete, help my teammates any way I can. I was not great tonight by any means, but, it's not really a thought of mine to not play here. If I can, walk, then I want to play. So, they understand that, and, is what it is, and, got to be ready to go for Game 6. Yeah, I mean, it's the same area, so, I don't know if they're related, but yeah, it's the same area. As far as, the turnovers, again, that's the thing you really got to watch film on. I feel like some of them were self-inflicted. Obviously they're a great defensive team. They really swarm the ball, but we got to do a better job taking care of the ball. All 3 of our losses in this series have turnovers have been a big reason why. So, watch the film, see where we can get better. We got to do a better job taking care of the ball, if we want to have a chance in Game 6.
The Pacers did try to mount a comeback against the Thunder and had a legit shot at stealing Game 5 early in the fourth quarter. Indy was trailing by just 2 points with a little more than 8 minutes to go, but OKC unleashed one last surge led by Jalen Williams and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to put the game away. It also did not help the Pacers' cause when they had a bunch of miscues scattered throughout the game. Indy head coach Rick Carlisle is fully aware of his team's shortcomings, from failing to slow down J-Dub all the way to committing a total of 22 turnovers.
They got a second chance opportunity and scored, and then we had an uncharacteristically bad turnover that turned into a dunk. And we called timeout, came out. I think Miles got fouled, got it back to 5. But then I don't remember, I just looked at part of that sequence to see what happened. Didn't make enough plays, pretty clearly. Get in front of them. Keep them from driving. Communicate better. Have help when necessary. In today's game, the drives to the rim, most of them happen at the point of attack, and we could do better. Nobody's asking about turnovers. We had 23 turnovers for 32 points. I mean, that's the game. So, we gotta do a heck of a lot better there.
Will the Thunder win it all in Game 6, or will the Pacers force that do-or-die Game 7? Find out by watching the rest of the 2025 NBA Finals on NBA TV Philippines, One Sports, RPTV, and Filipinas Live. In other news, Pinoy basketball star Ray Parks has another reason to celebrate just days after getting married. Parks is set to run it back with the Osaka Evesa in the next Japan B-League season. Parks agreed to a second season after a breakout campaign in his first year with the squad. Parks put up career highs of 13.6 points, 4.2 rebounds, and 2.8 assists per game in what ended up being his best season yet in Japan. He even earned the Impressive Asia Player of the Year award. Evesa looks to break out of the slump after missing the playoffs last season. As for Gilas big man AJ Edu, well, he's on the move again. This time, Edu will play for the Gunma Crane Thunders, his third team in Japan in as many years. Edu first played for the Toyama Grouses before joining the Nagasaki Velcro for his first full season of pro hoops. Edu was second in the league in blocks with 1.4 rejections a game in the last campaign.
We also have plenty of player movements in the volleyball scene. Former NU Bulldogs captain Leo Ringo is heading to Japan after signing with Japan V-League club Saitama Azela for the 2025-26 season. Ringo exits the UAP as season 87 finals MVP, capping his collegiate run with a historic 5-peat for the Bulldogs. Meanwhile, former DLSE Green Archer Noel Campton will make his professional debut with crisscross in the Spikers turf. That's before he heads to Thailand to play for the PSNKK club later this year. The VTL bronze medalist is expected to welcome Campton by December. And lastly, we go to the PVL for some good news for Creamline fans. Gia de Guzman has confirmed her return to the Cool Smashers after a 2-year stint in Japan. De Guzman clarified her full focus remains on Alas Pilipinas women ahead of several international competitions. The decorated setter last played for Creamline in 2023, where she won Finals MVP in the first All-Filipino Conference.
Of course, I'm going back to Creamline, but I went to a team also that knows that I have responsibilities also to the flag. So right now, I'm very grateful because they are allowing me to focus entirely on Alas Pilipinas because we know we have a responsibility to the country also. So I'm very grateful also to Creamline.
Coming up, we've got Pinoy pride on full display abroad. Several Filipino athletes bring home medals from their respective international tournaments. I'll look into that and more when Play-by-Play returns.
Welcome back. You're watching Play-by-Play on One News. Women's basketball fever is in full swing. The FIBA Women's Asia Cup Trophy Tour began its Philippine stop today. After an introductory press conference in Pasay yesterday, the trophy was brought to its first stop, Malolos, Bulacan. A celebratory motorcade culminated at the historic Baraswain Church. Malolos is the hometown of Gilas Pilipinas women's standout Jack Animam. Tomorrow, the Asia Cup trophy will stop by several schools like the De La Salle University, National University, University of Santo Tomas, Ateneo de Manila University, and lastly, the University of the Philippines. These are former schools of current Gilas players and prospects. This year's FIBA Women's Asia Cup will be held from July 13 to 20 in Shenzhen, China.
The PBA Philippine Cup is also in crucial stages as the quarterfinals begin tomorrow. First up are the second-seeded NLEX Road Warriors against the seventh-seeded Rain or Shine Alaska Painters at 5 p.m. The Road Warriors hold a twice-to-beat advantage in this matchup. Then at 7:30 p.m., the third-seeded Magnolia Hotshots look to spoil the TNT Tropang 5G's Grand Slam bid. The Hotshots also carry a twice-to-beat edge over their opponents. Both quarterfinal games will be at the PhilSports Arena in Pasig. But of course, you can also watch them on PBA Rush, RPTV, and the Pilipinas Live app. Here's Magnolia head coach Chito Victorero talking about their upcoming playoff campaign.
Alam ko dadaan kami sa ganitong situation and ang sana lang, sabi ko lang, sana when the playoffs start, at least medyo maganda na yung chemistry and medyo, yun nga, tabi ko kay Apple kanina, gumaganda na yung chemistry sa practices. We do some stuff na inside and outside the court na ginagawa namin para maging maganda yung chemistry ng team. We will be ready for the playoffs kahit na sino yung makalaban namin. Yun naman yung goal namin eh. Go to the playoffs and then anybody's ball game pagdating doon. All of them are capable of winning the title. So wala kang pagpipilian dito. So all you need to do is prepare and then hopefully ganito magkaroon kami ng chance sa dulo and yun lang naman ang 50-50 chance against this team. So wala ditong advantage, I think.
Of course, we've got Game 5 of the NBA Finals in tonight's highlight reel. So now we are going to start with the Indiana Pacers. Let's take a look at this. Pascal Siakam stealing the ball off a bad inbound pass from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and then Spicy P going all the way, galloping like a gazelle. Look at those long legs. Chet Holmgren couldn't even catch him. I wouldn't know what long legs feels like. I am 5'3". Pascal finished with 28 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists in a losing effort.
Next up, still from the Pacers, we have Aaron Nesmith flying in for that. Look at this. Sick putback slam. Nesmith leaping past the 7-footer Chet Holmgren after the Obi Toppin missed 3. The Pacers wing also getting a boost from that aerial collision with Holmgren. Take a look at that again. Nesmith posted 14 points, unfortunately in a losing cause.
All right, we're going to head over to the winning side. And in this clip, we have Thunder big man Chet Holmgren blocking Pascal Siakam's dunk on one end, and he goes coast to coast and he misses, but he does get his own rebound, and then the putback. There is absolutely no denying Chet on that sequence. Holmgren finished with 9 points and 11 rebounds.
Next up, what do we have? For tonight, we have Jalen Williams with a nice cut and then a perfect delivery from Isaiah Hartenstein. J-Dub finishes the play with a two-handed monster slam over Aaron Nesmith. Great cut again from Williams as he leaves Tom Bradley from behind and then leaves or ends with that nasty finish. Legendary night from the Thunder swingman, but that didn't stop with this play. Roll that last clip.
All right, now we're going to check out J-Dub versus Aaron Nesmith. ISO! J-Dub with the Mamba turnaround, and Kobe swishes it for his 40th point of the night. Williams capping off A decisive run by the Thunder in Game 5 with that silky smooth fadeaway jumper. And he puts the Thunder up 118 to 104 with about 3.5 minutes left to play. J-Dub was simply spectacular as he tallied 40 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. The Thunder win Game 5 120 to 109 and are now up in the finals 3-2. And of course, Game 6 heads back to Indianapolis this time, this Friday, 8:30 a.m. Philippine time. And I am already getting, what do you call it, anticipatory grief. Just thinking, just thinking of the NBA season ending. Ano gagawin ko?
Ano gagawin ko? Ano nang-aabangan ko sa umaga? My routine will change drastically. Pero gusto ko yung gusto ko yung description mo kanina kay Jada ba? Silky smooth and spectacular.
Spectacular. Swish.
Okay, abangan natin what will happen in Game 6, or will there be a
Game 7?
Game 7?
I don't know, because now we're talking about Tyrese Halliburton with a minor injury-ish. So we shall see, but we know we just want this to last for as long as possible.
Sige, abangan natin yan. But okay, before we go, we want to congratulate not one, but 2 national teams for bringing home honors from the international arena. First, the Philippine national weightlifters showcased strength and power in Singapore. Dave Lloyd Pacaldo took home the gold medal in the men's 65 kilogram, while John Dexter Tabique clinched bronze in the men's 98 kilogram category at the 2025 Southeast Asian Weightlifting Championships. The Philippine Dragon Boat team also dominated the waters in the 2025 ICF Dragon Boat World Cup. The Philippine squad hauled in 6 gold medals, 1 silver, and 1 bronze. Again, a huge congratulations to our Filipino athletes.
All right, that is tonight's episode. My goodness. So again, a while ago we mentioned that during the handshake, it's time to make Beyonce and the Spice Girls count. But lots of sporting events to look forward to this week. Also, again, we can't wait for Game 6 of the NBA Finals. That is going to be on Friday, 8:30 a.m. Philippine time. We have OKC up 3 as opposed to Indiana's 2.
But that will be in Indianapolis, right?
Indianapolis, and I don't know, is it going to be the cliche that defense wins championships?
Let's see.
Or will it be the hot shooting, the rapid fire offense of Indiana?
Yeah, we want to see also if Hallie will be able to put up some numbers.
We shall see.
Obviously, he's proven himself time and time again all throughout. I mean, before even heading to the finals, called him, what did they call him? Overrated.
You poked the bear. All right, that is all from us tonight. Catch us again tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. for a play-by-play of the day's top sports stories.
Play-by-play as on One News, that's Signal TV Channel 8 on SD and Channel 250 on HD. We're also available on Signal Play and Pilipinas Live.
I'm Cheska Calao.
And I'm Denise Stan, sitting in for Andre Felix. Thank you for watching.